episodes of the First Kiss podcast. And in this series, we are having a conversation with teams all over the world from the First Global Challenge. Today, we are very happy to have with us Team Algeria. And first, I'd like to welcome my co-host Slim. Hi, Slim.
Thank you, Fatma. Hi, everyone. This is Slim Majdoub with you today. I'm the spokesperson of Team Tunisia 2017, and I will be co-host of this episode with you, Fatma. And I'm super glad that we have the Algerian team with us today.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. We have today with us Hana, Ahmed, Yassin. Hello. Welcome to the First Skills podcast. If you could first of all introduce yourselves to the audience who are watching us.
Okay, I'm Hannah, I'm 17. I'm part of the FDC member of 2019.
So, hello First Global community. First of all, I would like to thank you, Team Tunisia, for hosting us in this podcast. I am Ahmed, member of Team Algeria at this 2019. I'm super happy to be here with you today, and I hope this will be a great experience for both of us.
And I'm Yassin, I'm 15, and I'm spokesperson of Team Algeria.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
We will start talking about your FGC experience. You are three members who are in the 2019 team, and from what we've heard, from the discussion we've had before the podcast, you told us that one of your members has worked with the other FGC teams. If you tell us, you as current 2019 members, how is the experience of the previous teams giving you some benefits? How are you gaining from the experience of the previous teams, whether by their coaching or by the information they're giving you? How is that?
Yes. Well, actually, every day we learn from the members that participated from the previous versions of the FGC. They help us when we don't know how to do some mechanism or something like this, design stuff like it, programming sometimes. We always contact them, they help us. And of course, they show us their experience in Mexico City last year and Washington DC in the edition of 2017. They always tell us about the great experience they have.
The last year, we don't know if you still have some contacts with the first edition member, Nabil. He visited us in Tunisia here to participate in the Let's Go Tech Camp. We don't know whether you've heard of that or not, because apparently you seem recent to the First Global working. But if you've heard of his visit to Tunisia, what have you heard? What are the things that you think that have benefited you as a team right now, maybe?
Well, first I've got about Nabil because I'm 19 member. Yes, I heard that he was in Tunisia in camp, and he eventually did. That's it. I think so. He eventually did.
Okay, so you didn't have that like deep conversation with him about his visit?
No.
No. Okay.
Not sure.
So there is no problem. Maybe we shall move on to the quiz. Should we?
Okay, we're ready.
Okay. So what I will be doing right now, because this episode is mainly about cultural stuff, so I will be asking questions, some basic questions to both you as the three members, Hannah, Ahmed, and Yassin, and Fatma as one.
Yeah.
1 versus 3. This is not that fair, but I will still ask you some questions. They will be like, for example, how many people are there in Tunisia? Just an example of the type of questions that will be asked. So before starting, who would like to be the first to answer? You, Fatma.
Alright, first of all, I think you are the master of the game, so it's so good. And next, I will be facilitator for Team Algeria.
Okay.
Okay.
So we will start by asking you, what is the rank of Algeria in Africa in its surface or its size?
We are absolutely the first in Africa and in the Arab world, and we are the 10th in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And you get 1 point. So, Algeria is the biggest country in Africa and in the Arab world. They used to be second, but after Sudan split into two, they are now the first. No one can ever be in their place. Yeah. Now, Fatma, I will be asking you a question. The highest mountain in Tunisia is El Shambi mountain.
Yeah.
In which governorate or state does this mountain locate?
Ah. Wait. I guess it's somewhere in the north, but I'm not sure. It's not. Okay, I don't know.
She doesn't know. Okay. This state is
Oh, it's probably in the Sahara, isn't it?
not exactly.
Because, in the Maghreb world, we have like the Northern Atlas and we have the Sahara Atlas. And usually the mountains in the Sahara Atlas are much higher. So I would say it's probably Sahara Atlas.
Is it
Actually, it's closer to the Sahara Atlas than it is from the mountain series in the north of Tunisia. It is in the governorate of El Qasrim. This is in the east, in the western borders with Algeria. We move on to the next question with you guys. 1-0. Okay. So, what is the second largest city in Algeria after Algiers in population?
That's pretty obvious. It's absolutely Oran in the west of the country.
Exactly. Okay. 2-0. You should come back for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know that Algeria is our favorite country. Everything of our country. Well, almost everything.
Yeah. But Fatma, apparently you should know more about Tunisia. But maybe you know more because there are still some questions. And the next question will be, in which year was Tunisia colonized by France?
1881.
1881, exactly. That's 2-1. It's like a trick for us Tunisians, not in order to remember our the year at which we were colonized. This is like 81 in old numbers in our hands, and this is 18. So if we put it like this way, if we read it in Arabic numbers, it will be 1881. So that's the year in which Tunisia was colonized by France. Okay.
This can be cheated or wisdom.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, we've been cheating with it from our childhood. But moving on to the next question. Okay, this is easy normally. How many provinces are there in Algeria?
That's very obvious. We have 48.
48, exactly. 3-1. In Tunisia, we have half the number. It is 24. But apparently, the size of Algeria is like 10 times that of Tunisia. So
Yeah.
each state is 10 times.
Tunisia can be a province of Algeria.
Yeah, one province. Now, Fatma,
Yes.
what is the biggest Tunisian province or governorate?
Tatooine.
Tatooine, exactly. 3-2.
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming back. Okay, this is the next question. How many countries does Algeria have borders with?
Okay, I will just tell you the countries that come in my hands.
Okay.
Right? So we'll start with you guys. I would take Tunisia first one.
Okay.
And then we have Libya. And then we have Niger. And then we have Mali. And then Mauritania. And then the Western Sahara. I don't know if you like it or not. It's about Atlantis, but okay, never mind.
Okay.
Western Sahara, and then we have Morocco.
Yeah, so exactly. It's either 7, either 6, depends on politics, but we're not here to discuss politics. So it's yeah. Actually, in Wikipedia, apparently they don't recognize it, but we will just stay neutral. We don't know. Tunisia hasn't made like a clear opinion of that. So normally this should be the last question for you, Fatma.
Okay.
Which of the following is closest to the Algerian borders? Is it Sediana, Kairouan, or Tuzur?
I can answer that by the way.
Okay.
Can you please repeat the suggestion?
That's Sediana, Kairouan, or Tuzur?
I'm gonna go for it. Sure.
Tuzur, exactly.
Okay. That's
Okay.
just a guess.
So we have mainly two border, two points in which we can get to Algeria. Mainly the one between Tozur and Gafsa, the other one in Tabarqa in the north. This was the quick quiz between the Algeria team and Fatma, and you lost 4-3. But we will continue discussing about some cultural differences and some cultural points in common. As we all know, Algeria is next to Tunisia. We've shared a lot in history. We share a lot in either in our language, let's say the dialect, but we will move on to that later on. To the food, in so many things. And we will start mainly by mentioning, you mentioned the Atlas in the north, etc. And the Atlas of the Sahara and of the north. We'll be talking about the nature. In Algeria, as we know, most of the population is located in the north of Algeria, on the Mediterranean coasts. So if you talk more about the Algerian nature, let's say, depending on the climate and on the rocks, let's say.
Right. So do you want to talk or are you saying?
Oh, it's your thing, Algeria.
Alright, so basically Algeria, as we all know, is a very large country. Actually a continent inside another continent. We have a diverse climate, so we have a diverse nature. Starting with the Mediterranean coast, where we have mild climates. Right? And after the Mediterranean coast, we have the Northern Atlas. You got me?
Yeah.
And after the Northern Atlas, we have the high plateaus. And after the high plateaus, we have the Sahara Atlas and then the Sahara. We have 2 million square kilometers of Sahara.
Yeah, that's huge. Actually, having most of the cities in the north, when we had a conversation with Nabil, he told us that when he left us for Algeria, he had his cousins living in Gherdaya. And I want to ask you whether...
Actually, it's my hometown.
Okay, nice to hear that. Gherdaya is in the Sahara, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just in the middle of
Yes, true.
of Algeria. Yeah. So.
It's okay, it's 100 kilometers and it's south of
Mhm. Okay. So is it
I
like?
don't give you the information because
Okay, you said 600 kilometers, right?
I said that I don't know if you got the
So, no.
Okay. So I said that I don't know if you got the information because those of us were talking.
Okay, you said that it's 600 kilometers south Algiers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So I've heard you. I want to know whether people are like mostly originated from, let's say, towns in the Sahara, and they are all like living in the north, and they only come back to their original towns in ceremonies or in special seasons, or is it just like dating back to like, let's say 60 or 50 years, and from that day on, the only people left, let's say, in the towns are the elderly and some like little communities. How can you describe it?
Alright, so I would say like, in every country in the world, there are more facilities and more work opportunities in big cities.
Yeah,
So this
for
is
sure.
the same case here in Algeria. Like we leave our hometowns and go to work and study in another city or the city in the north. And then when we have holiday or we have like I don't know a celebration or something, we go back to our hometown. And we always have our houses and our in our hometown.
Mhm.
Got it?
Yeah. So if I take a city like yours, for example, Algeria, how would it be like in a time, for example, of studies and work, and another time of holidays? How would be the difference, like of the people in the town?
Alright, actually a really unique community in Algeria. So I would give you just a wide view about the situation here in our country. But if you want more specific details about Algeria, like specifically, you can just contact me. Okay?
Okay.
So I would say that in every house, during like the days of work and study, you find places like I would say crowded, especially in the capital Algiers. But on holidays, like many people leave the capital and go to their hometown. Their home, it's really different. Like, it's really different.
Mhm.
Sometimes like, I had the opportunity to go to my hometown in studying days. I see it's like I don't know. I feel like in a completely empty place. Like it's the Sahara. Okay. But when I go to holiday, I was like many people that I've never seen before. I'm telling you.
Okay. Actually, we have something like a bit similar of the migration of, let's say, citizens from the inner parts of the country to the coastal cities. But concerning the population, both of us, Tunisian and Algerian people, are known for as the people of North Africa, the Amazighs or the Berbers. And although only some small communities are being left in Tunisia, the impact of the Amazigh lifestyle on the Algerian lifestyle is still seen today, and we can see signs written in the Amazigh language, and you even like identify yourselves as Shawi, Qabili, Tuareg, or what's the last one? I forgot it. Or Shenwa, I think. Shawi, right?
Alright, so just laying down, we don't have that kind of like city people. Say people like from their race or their ethnic group. We are all Algerians.
Yeah, I know that.
We all share the same nationality.
Yeah, exactly. I know that.
Make our country better. So actually, we avoid that kind of things in the Algerian society.
Mhm. Okay, but we want to know how does that affect the lifestyle, even if you like try to like not to mention it, because the most important thing is being united, like as a country, as you said. But at the end, there are some small differences between the different groups, which makes the community even like stronger, and this diversity makes Algeria what it is.
Yeah, of course. Diversity is the strength of any country in the world. You know that.
Yeah.
We just avoid like to set each one is its race. That's all. This is the case.
Okay, and since you all live together, as you said, everyone on his own, without. I know, like you're not discussing as if, hey, you're Shawi or you're Kabili, etc. But how is that? What are, let's say, what are the differences between the four groups?
All right. So actually, this diversity makes Algeria very beautiful. That we are a large country, so we have a wide diversity in the country. Like if you move from country, you will see a difference in the tradition, in the way, in their clothes, in their accent, in their dialect, etc. So this diversity may like the world is separate from globalization, but in Algeria, the case is completely different because each part is unique.
Mhm. It's nice to hear that. Having different provinces, each with its own characteristics, Let's talk about something more specific, which is food, which is something that we share a lot in common. And let's say that the food that we all share between each other is couscous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I don't know if you know like some differences between the Tunisian couscous and the Algerian couscous, but maybe if you tell us about the couscous of Algeria, so that we can identify those differences. How do you identify the specific couscous of Algeria, and how do you cook it? Whether it is like with meat, with fish, with lamb. How do you cook it exactly?
All right. So as I told you, we have a diverse community here in Algeria. Some people like cook it with a white sauce, while in other parts they add some herbs to the couscous so it becomes green. And in the Sahara, we have soups that is made from potatoes. And for pigs, too, and stuff like that, they would have two mistake always.
Oh, okay. For example, in the west part, the couscous is yellow because of the saffron. We put a lot of saffron in our cook. In Algeria, for example, they cook it either with the tomato or without tomato. So it is white sauce or red sauce. But in Tunisia, where I'm from, it's yellow, so there is a difference, for example. Also, we cook it with meat or chicken. But I know that in Tunisia we cook it with fish. We don't have that here. And then, for example, in Western you can cook it with sardines. Okay, so there is a lot of, as it's a really big country, we have a lot of differences between a town and a town, and a family can cook it like that, and another one cook it like that. It's really depends on the.
I told you, the world is suffering from globalization, but Algeria, every part of it is unique.
Okay. Well, we are seeing signs of globalization in Tunisia, but the food always tastes the same because the couscous has always kept its own characteristics over time. And we in our city, Sfax, we are known like as the only city in Tunisia which cooks couscous with fish. It's not like something done in every single city in Tunisia, but it's only in our city. And generally, in all of Tunisia, mainly, couscous is like more orange than yellow. So the sauce makes it like look maybe more orange, let's say in color. And generally, we can put it either with vegetables or with meat or even chicken, which is something in common between the two countries. Maybe if we talk about something else, we share as well. Sorry?
After all, it's different about what we add at the couscous.
Yeah, it remains couscous at the end, and it's all delicious.
Yes.
Maybe if we move on to the dialects, many, let's say, as parts of the Arab countries, many identify the Maghreb languages or the Maghreb dialects as hard. And if they were to rank it from the easiest ones to the hardest ones, it will move like geography. Tunisian dialect is the easiest one, and then it's Algeria, and then it's Morocco. So maybe we'll say in the two first levels, Tunisia and Algeria, and we will ask you about some words. We will try to tell you their meaning in Tunisian, or not their meaning. We will tell you the word in English. You will tell us what you call it in Algerian and what do we call it in Tunisian, and we'll try whether there is some points in common or difference. So maybe if we start with the first word.
Okay.
Okay, maybe you can start with car. Automobile. Okay, we call it.
We call it كربة.
Yeah, and in some part of Algeria it's called Yeah, and the other ones, they're the process.
We have three words for how we say toto, tole, or kroka.
Hopefully we don't forget any.
Okay, we only have karaba.
Yeah.
I don't know where does that word derive from. It's mainly about electricity, and they have switched the letters, but who knows? Okay, the next word will be the carrot. What is
What's
it?
Zrodia.
Zurudia.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, we either call it Sineria or Spineria in other regions of the country.
Cineria or Spheneria.
Sounds cool.
Okay, the next word will be bottle. The bottle, for example, bottle of water. Kara. Okay.
Okay, we have a different meaning for that.
Yeah, kara is like the lantern, let's say, but a bottle in Tunisian is okay. Do you hear us?
Yes,
Yes.
We do.
A bottle is the busa.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the origin of the word is when the French were first like introducing like let's say high quality bottles. They were the sign of marque déposée in French, and the word déposé
Oh.
like evolved until becoming the busa.
Interesting.
Okay, the next word will be tomato. Tomatoes. Okay, it's just tomato
Yeah.
in Tunisia.
Yeah, we always want sometimes.
Okay. What about orange?
China.
What's that?
China. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, we just call it Burgdana.
Just
Okay.
Yeah, or Burgdan.
Okay, cool.
Okay. The next word will be the towel, with which we
wipe our hands.
what towel, TOWEL,
Servita.
servita.
Serviette.
Servita with V.
Yeah.
Okay. For us, there are like
In Algeria.
Yes, it came from the word serviette in French, becomes serviette with B.
Yeah,
Servita.
servita.
In P, that's different. No, Servita. Is it pronounced with P or V?
B.
B. Servita.
Okay. You have another word derived from French, smena. For example, for us,
Yeah.
Yes.
the week.
We have actually we have a lot of words from
The French.
the French language. Yes.
For the towel, we have like two words. If it is like a small one in which we wipe our hands, that would be called mendil, like normally like in Arabic. But if it is like huge, we call it bishkir.
What?
Bishkir.
Oh.
She.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm guessing the words from.
Like for really good context.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Maybe before suggesting other words in Tunisian and checking whether you understand them or not. Something that we might culturally share as well is music. if we the Tunisians have some musical like certain types of music. Uh, all of us like certainly know the Algerian rye and other types of Algerian music, which are mainly adapted from the I'm gonna say the Sahrawi life of style. I mean the lifestyle of people living in the Sahara. So how is like what are the different kinds of music that we might not hear of in Algeria? Because the only as far as we know, the only type which has been like internationalized, let's say, is the Algerian rye. Is there any like Algerian music that we don't know?
Yes, we have Andalus in the west. In the west, there isn't a lot of Andalus. In the capital, there isn't Shabi. Yes, do you know Shabi or no?
Shabi.
Ah, Shabi.
Like popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's like
It's just the Shabi.
yeah. Oh, maybe we don't know the word, but we might have some things in common. And what else?
We listen to Kerwabi. We have also Tabla.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
yes.
right.
And we have the Kabul music.
See, this Amazon music.
Yeah, Amazon music. Inawi, yes, Inawi. Obviously this.
Okay.
If I go to the
There are one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
There are a lot of Marvel movies.
Oh, no.
Okay. Maybe let's say that we share a lot of things. The music that you call Andalus, we have some similar music, which is deriving from the old Spanish Andalusian people, and we call it
Melouf.
Melouf.
I think you're referring to that type of music. So when people immigrated from Spain to Tunisia, they brought a new genre of music called Melouf. It is played in like small orchestras, and the lyrics are basically from Arabic poetry.
Oh, it's the same in Algeria actually. It came from Spain and now it's named Andalus. Because in the old, before Spain was Andalus country.
Islamic country.
All right. So, okay. Actually, I will speak a little bit about history. After the fall of Andalus, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco were just one state. Were from one state to Tunisia.
Yes.
And then it was split into three states, which is Algeria in
Tunisia.
Tunisia, in Algeria.
In Indonesia.
The one in Morocco.
In the Idrisi state in Morocco. Idrisi.
Okay, it's Marinia.
Marinia, yeah.
Yeah, in Morocco. And then the Muslims from Andalus were ran away from the Christians in the Spanish Peninsula and coming to the Arab Maghreb. But then the Ottoman Caliphate came and started to save them. So that's why they were running away from the Andalus region and coming to the Arab Maghreb. So we all share that kind of view.
Yeah, but what seemed like a bit interesting for me is that they are on the west, and not. I mean, when you mentioned them, you said they're especially in the west of Algeria. It's quite sure that they are spread all over the north, let's say, but I expected it to be more close to Tunisia, maybe, or both in the west and in the east, both closer to Morocco and to Tunisia. But it makes more logic since the west of Algeria is closest to Spain, anyways. Uh,
And also like Spain and Portugal were attacking like the whole Arab Maghreb. So that's fair enough, you know.
yeah. Another type of music we have in Tunisia. Something in common as well is you mentioned the tabla. We have tbal, which is something that we especially find in like either islands like Jerba and Kirkena, or in other regions from the Sahara, especially like Gabes, Gbili, Duz, etc. And we have another like kind of music which is more similar to Rai, because it was like under-recognized, let's say, and it was seen as not appropriate, which is the Mizwit. And it has no like the same rise as Rai, but let's say with some Algerian artists like Sheikh Khalid, etc., Rai was becoming more international, and Mizwit stayed more local in Tunisia, which is lucky for you guys, in fact. Maybe we'll come back to words and dialects. We will play a little game. We will just tell you a word in Tunisian. You will try to guess the meaning of the word, and then you give us a word in Algerian, and we will try to do the same. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? So maybe we begin by the word shalhoum.
It's probably
Yes.
it's the Nostra.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's an easy one. Okay, you give us a word.
Okay, so we'll give you the word. Okay, so our word would be Lira.
Glera.
Yes.
Is that like the bilha? Is it something that you wear on your feet?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
close.
Yeah, exactly. We call it bilha. Okay.
Alright.
Another word. Jirana.
What?
Jirana.
Oh, is it some kind of insect?
No.
Drana. Oh,
Give us
oh,
a
yeah.
hint.
A hint.
Drana wait. Drana, is it a frog?
Exactly.
Oh.
Do you call it with the same name? What do you call frog in Algeria?
Probably Drana.
Sorry, we haven't quite heard the name. Grana. What do you call it?
Drana.
Ah.
Oh,
Okay.
it's the same.
So it's basically the same, yeah. Okay, you give us a word.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, let's go to Western accents.
Grecian.
Persian.
Nishan.
Yes.
Okay. Does this have anything to do with the French word niche?
No.
Original.
Okay. Is it curtains? Is it curtains?
Ahead is the direction.
Nishan. In, like forward? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, another word will be fakrun.
Oh, that's easy. Actually, it's common in Algeria.
Yeah, actually, we haven't thought that these words are like so common. Okay, you guessed it right.
Okay, second one. Okay,
طنجرة.
Easy.
Yes.
What? Okay, guys, it's very good.
طنجرة, we have the same name for it. It's something in which we cook. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, maybe the last word. What will it be?
Sometimes.
Okay, let's say it's. We will give you a hint from the beginning. It's a verb. So I'm just talking about myself. نسخسخ.
Oh, it's just like it's success. It's like success. It's something else. I don't know how to say that in English. I cannot explain, you know. It's really hard.
We just
We just mess things up, something like that.
No,
Not
no.
technically.
Actually, it's not the
Not
same.
really, it's not
Okay, I will say.
it's success.
For example, نسخسخ someone. It's like
Taking the make out of it.
Sorry?
sorry.
So, bullying or
No.
okay, so to the about two things like bullying him, disturbing him, or taking the make out of him.
Actually, if we take it like to big level, that would be a bit close. But نسخسخ mainly it's when someone does something wrong, and I'm like here
Being
to
critical. Yeah.
It's like being critical in a bad way.
And
Let's
then
say.
you're like
Yeah.
bashing someone.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
Yes, I got it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Our turn.
Success is completely flexible. The same thing is with families,
I don't think it's true.
Okay.
No, I got it. I got word. Smithy.
Smitry, that's rain.
Yeah. No.
It has something to do with rain and nature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So either it's like
Ice. Like maybe the ice.
without it's like between ice and rain. What do we call it? No. It's so wait, it's so cold. It means that it's so cold, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. We say scotery.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
close. No.
Okay, we have something close to that.
Even if Algeria we don't say the same word. In my city we say Arab for this word. Yes.
Okay.
Should I tell the time?
Yeah. That's like dialects service.
We're done right now with the game of dialects, and let's come back and talk about the FGC 2019 Team Algeria.
Yes. So I think you guys are doing a great progress in your robot. So are you basically finished with it first?
Actually, we made 2 prototypes already, and we are making the third one.
Oh,
That's
good
great.
job.
So are you in school in at the same time working, or are you still in a holiday?
No, we are studying at the same time.
Okay, that makes it a bit challenging. So are we? We are studying and working at the same time. So are you making any progress that is not technical? For example, are you planning any events, or have you done any events that is related to the thematic of the first global challenge this year?
I think it's really complex.
We had a Canadian conference day in the Pacific.
Yes, we do.
with Team Kosovo,
Yeah.
and we are planning to make some events, for example, a big quiz for all teams. But we will talk about it later.
Today we also a presentation for a group called ISAC.
They do have a presentation. Do you know the association ISAC, which is mainly about volunteering?
Yeah.
Alright, so actually we did a presentation in their events today, and also we had an interview with magazine. We had with the magazine and with the radio. We had with the magazine, which is like an international one, which is mainly which is mainly based in the Middle East, Canada, and recently in Algeria. Also, we had the opportunity to be live on air on Vietnam radio.
Good job. Okay, and are there any future plans for when going in there to Dubai? What are, let's say, we're not going to talk about the future plans, but what are your expectations for Dubai?
Okay, so we are planning to make this as obvious one. Yeah, we're going to.
Actually, we are super motivated.
Yeah. Yes, we are planning to meet all the teams, try to cooperate with them. So, just welcome to this.
We really want to work like hand in hand to make a good groups, not working by ourselves. We want also to share our culture between two maths, for example, and learn from the others and their experiences. Yes.
Okay, so in addition to what they said, we would try to share our culture with others and learn about their cultures, their traditions and stuff like that. Also, we would work on inspiring others all over the world, inspiring them and empowering other Algerians that Algerians can make a difference, can take part in international robotics competition. So the impact solution will cover the whole country. Well, I do agree with our spokesman, our very motivated and ambitious spokesman, which is we are working towards getting the first place. And I will add only something, which is, as we know, the topic of the 2019 edition of the first global challenge is ocean opportunities. So as we know, the fast-paced world of the 21st century needs evidence-based solutions. We can't do such things except by harnessing technology, and technology with all its subfields like complex mechanics, etc., to come up with practical ideas, practical solutions for the different problems we are facing nowadays in Algeria and all over the world.
Thank you very much. I guess we have come to the end of our episode. If there's anything that you want to add?
Actually, we need to know your expectations because we haven't talked about that yet.
Okay. Well, actually, for me, I'm not going to go to Dubai because I'm a former participant of the 2017 and Fatma.
Yes. So our expectations for the 2019 edition is high, seeing that the previous teams have got many awards. So in the first edition they got 2, in the second they got 4, which sets the level of the bar level really high for us. And we are expecting something big in the next edition of the camp. So that was a transition, and it helped us improve our skills in robotics.
Maybe I'll be able to keep
You can just keep asking questions.
Any more questions? Right. So that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Maybe I'll ask about the process. Oh yeah.
Have you finished the robot yet?
Sorry?
Have we finished the robot yet? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it's overall finished, although some improvements are being done. Meanwhile, we are in school.
Oh, okay. What else? Oh, all right. So we've got a question from the audience.
Okay.
Please elaborate, like, how can you coordinate with school life and working for the FGC?
So our preparation camp was actually in the holidays, so most of our work was done in the holiday. Now we are working and studying. Much of the work that needs to be done in the local is finished. So all we have to do is just work like at home, working on the engineer notebook, working on media, working on programming, and coming here to test mechanisms or codes. So yeah, we try to fit that into our schedules, but it is challenging at the end.
What else?
That's it.
Can I ask you a question about program?
About?
Okay, so first thing, are you using blocks or Java?
We're using Alba Java.
Okay. Have you thought about using, I don't know,
Sorry?
okay, have you tried to work with the encoder?
Encoder.
Have you tried to work with the encoder of the buffer?
Yes, so when we tried to work on it, we had some technical issues. The encoder wasn't really working, and under heavy load, it's not functional at all. We contacted technical support of Red Robotics. We got an answer back just to open the cap of the motor and then flip the magnet, and then it worked fine. So that's the issue we had with encoders.
I think that's it. So,
Maybe it's their turn to ask for any questions. Like we've asked a lot.
No, actually, there's no problem with that. Since you have no more questions, I think we're just gonna end the podcast. We want to thank you a lot for responding to us quickly and accepting to be in our podcast. Thank you very much. A big shout out to you, to your work, to Team Algeria, and to Algeria in general.
Yes.
We've come to the end of our episode.
Thank you, Hannah, Ahmed, and Yassine. Thank you, Slim, for joining me.
thank you.
It's very common that professors to develop it like in Tunisia, and our brother to know that. So to choose me, goodbye.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
So, this is the end of the episode. Goodbye.